Guys, welcome to the world premiere of all the latest Jeep concepts.
That's right, these concepts are going to be at the 2021 Easter Jeep Safari, which is happening this year.
Yes, and you're going to be there.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be there with Roman and Tommy. We are going to be covering these vehicles. We're going to be driving these vehicles. But today, we're going to be talking about these vehicles.
Yeah, we want to give you all the information we have. Let's do this. So there are 4 new vehicles and some previous year vehicles that they're going to be showing.
That is correct.
So let's start with a new electric one, then go back to a classic, then take a look at the truck.
I'm excited.
The Gladiator, and of course the 2-door Wrangler, which is, iconic.
All right, so let's hit it off with number 1, which is Andre's favorite specifically because of the name.
Magneto. I think it's really kind of devilish and evilish, but it's an all-electric Wrangler.
That's right. Andre was running around the office wearing a helmet calling himself Magneto earlier in underwear. But this is different. This is a vehicle that is electric. How do I put it? It's not what you think it is.
Right, so they took basically a 2-door Rubicon Wrangler. So it's not a bespoke platform, it's a platform that's available right now.
That is correct.
And then they basically ripped out the gasoline engine, ripped out, part of the drivetrain. But they put in a custom-built electric motor and a 6-speed manual.
Manual transmission, that's the part that just got me crazy. That's why I was running around in underwear. That is awesome. So this is a concept, okay? So remember, all of these are concepts, but depending on how what you guys say and what we say and everything else, you never know what the future can bring. And the cool part about this is that if this thing really works, who knows? A manual transmission with an electric motor? Yeah.
Yeah, so Jeep actually has something already coming to production, which is the 4xe.
Right, but the 4xe is a plug-in hybrid, a PHEV.
Yes, and the 4xe has a 2-liter turbocharged engine with an electric motor and, of course, an automatic transmission.
Yeah, it's got the 8-speed, and it's got a bunch of batteries.
Yeah, and it's a 4-door, unlimited, long wheelbase. This is something else. Here's some of the specs, dude. So the electric motor, which is custom built just for this concept, 285 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, and it's sitting under the hood. So it's kind of mounted where the normal gasoline engine would be.
That's correct.
First of all, you know how electric vehicle manufacturers these days announce these crazy torque numbers like 11,000 pound-feet of torque?
Yeah, I've heard those numbers before.
Jeep is not doing that.
No, they're not, and I think there's a reason behind that, and it makes a lot of sense. First of all, you're feeding a lot of power through a 6-speed manual transmission, right? So if it's the same manual transmission that they're using right now in the Wrangler and also the Gladiator, that transmission can only handle so much power, right? So even if they use the really beefy one that they pull out of, let's say, a Hellcat.
Or a Ram Heavy Duty.
Which
is not available
anymore. So maybe that was one of the reasons why. But the other reason I think that this sounds really good to me, because it could be affordable. One of the things about electric vehicles is that they are ridiculously expensive. So imagine converting or making this version available and keeping it inexpensive. That's what I'm hoping. I'm praying to the Jeep gods about.
Yes, and they quoted actually acceleration, which is not really important for a rock crawler like this.
Yeah, but people are going to want to know.
But they said 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds.
Perfectly fine.
Great, not mind-boggling, but
actually,
just
that's pretty damn good.
70 kilowatt-hour battery packs. So they packaged 4 lithium-ion batteries into this little vehicle because it's a short wheelbase.
Right.
So 2 of the batteries are underneath the vehicle.
That makes sense.
Where like the fuel tank used to be and some other components used to be. One of the battery packs is underneath the hood next to the engine. I mean the motor.
Motor.
I'm sorry. And then the 4th battery pack is in the cargo area, kind of where the exhaust system used to be and where the cargo area is. And then they put 2 12-volt batteries in it. So it has 6 batteries.
Yeah, the 12-volt batteries are usually for accessories and whatnot. That's how a lot of electric vehicles run. Now, I think the reason they did that, Andre, is for weight distribution. Because remember, you're removing a fairly heavy engine/transmission unit out of there, and you're keeping really just light components in there. So in order to get back to that weight, they put one of the batteries up front, and then on top of that, the electric motor, which probably doesn't weigh that much.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it's got a really cool color and a lot of other accessories. It's got a JPP, Jeep Performance Parts 2-inch lift. It's got LED lights, and one of the 12-volt batteries is also powering the winch.
Check out how the lights, the LEDs, go all the way across the grill.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing that they're trying out.
Yeah, they just need a red light to go back and forth. There's a preview of something else.
Okay, so that's the Magneto, and please, when you're there, ask somebody to drive it. I don't care what you have to do.
I'll drive it.
Okay.
I'll drive it. Yeah, I'm going to tell them that it's either that or they see the picture of you with the helmet and the underwear.
Just tell them Andre asked you.
I won't do that.
So next concept is called the Jeepster Beach.
This is really cool, guys.
Yeah, dude. So this is basically a classic. It's a combination of a 1968 Jeepster Commando and a brand new JL Wrangler Rubicon.
Yeah, so basically they took the body and they had to make a lot of cuts and whatnot on the old Jeep Commando, and they dropped it on top of this platform. That's basically what you're seeing here. But they did a lot of cool theme components to it to make it very beachy.
Yeah, and also just open air experience, very classic. Interior is amazing. You know, we have a few images of the interior.
It's nuts, yeah.
But listen to this, dude. What do you think is powering this beast?
2-liter.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a 2-liter turbo, which is also available currently in the Jeep Wrangler. 270 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, and it has an 8-speed automatic transmission. I have a question for you.
Go for it.
In 1968, if you went back in time and you said, hey guys, you see this Commando? Pretty soon in the future, it'll have a 2-liter turbo with 270 horsepower. What do you think they would say?
They'd laugh at you because, you know, it's like, oh, wait a minute, turbo and one of these?
Small
what is
displacement?
that newfangled thing in 1968? No, back then they really weren't doing that. They had some large displacement engines that they could shove in there, but they certainly wasn't a little turbo that actually could outperform their big displacement engines in every way. But the thing is, my old man actually had one of these just for a little while, and it completely rusted to pieces to the point where the frame was like falling apart. This looks like they cut the hell out of it to make it a lot shorter. So we're going to find out and hopefully drive it when we go there.
Yeah, and it's got a really cool interior, which is modern and also kind of classic at the same time.
Yeah, you can really see that they took a lot of the components out of the Wrangler and put it in there. And at the same time, that red really shouts, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's, of course, it's shown in Moab, and it will be in Moab.
Yeah, and one cool thing, real quickly for you guys, a lot of the concepts that they put together, first of all, they all run, they all drive, they all can off-road to a certain degree, but they usually keep the decent ones around for a while and use them as shop vehicles, and they bring them back to Easter Jeep year after year, so you may see these things again.
Yes. Let's go to the next one. We're almost halfway done. This is the Jeep Orange Peels.
What does that look like to you guys? I'm just going to put that out there and let you talk about that, but there's a lot. This is basically, I'm sorry, Andre, this is basically a rolling JPP catalog. So a lot of the components you're seeing here, almost all of them, are or will be available through JPP, basically Mopar Jeep version, for you guys to buy. So you can basically turn it into this vehicle. And there's some very cool details.
You know, this color, this kind of an orange-yellow, reminds me of a recent Ford Bronco, a Ford show.
It does, doesn't it? And the wheels and the stance and the whole look does look a little Ford Bronco-y. Interesting choice. And there's more.
But listen to some of these parts, right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, they're featuring their half doors.
That's correct.
So if you can look on the side here, this is a 2-door Wrangler, of course. Half doors are already for sale. So you can order them now.
Yeah, real quickly, half doors are exactly that. They're half a door. They're much lighter than your regular door. They're easy to remove. And on top of that, you're able to take a window component, an upper component, and put it in there and sort of seal it in place. And it's fairly weatherproof. And this is brand new for the new Jeep. They just came out with them, and they're available on the 2-doors and the 4-door vehicles. I think in the near future we'll have them on the Gladiator as well.
Yeah, and they're right now the pricing is such about $2,500 for a 2-door Wrangler, about between $4,000 to like $4,300 for a 4-door.
Right.
And then it kind of depends on what you order.
Right. There's different packages.
Yeah.
Right?
And also some of these doors require a hardtop. So, and some do not. So you have to be careful when you're ordering.
That's correct. So, go to Jeep and you can easily see it there with, the various packages that are available. But there is more to this vehicle. It has a 2-inch lift. It has Fox shocks, 17-inch wheels, and 37-inch tires.
Yeah, all that. And it also has a cold air intake and a dual catback exhaust system.
That is correct. Now, there is nothing on the release that says anything about horsepower gains or anything else, but when we go to the event, that's one of the first questions I'm going to ask them, because I know a lot of you guys want to know if that'll actually, which it looks pretty good, will actually help your horsepower.
Yes, please ask. And it also, of course, has LED pod lights and the latest Gorilla Glass windshield, which is resistant to dings.
Which is really good, because one of the first things that happens to Jeeps, especially in Colorado, dings.
Yes. So that's all good. So I want to talk about truck. Can we move on to a truck?
Of course.
Okay. This.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. This is what they're calling the Jeep Gladiator Red Bear.
Now, he doesn't mean bear like, bear, or Russian bear. He means bear, like pull off your shirt and enjoy.
This is really strange. But this is cool, because this is a Gladiator with a diesel engine. It's still a concept.
Yep. This has a lot of JPP components on it, right? Or future JPP components. And one of the things Jeep is pushing ad nauseum is the half doors. So you can see that this has it as well, I believe.
Yes, and it also has, of course, this is a Rubicon.
Yep.
And it has the latest, of course, axles, Dana 44s. It has a 488 axle ratio, which is kind of a low
Yeah,
gears.
normally they're 410s, right? So that is different.
That's for crawling.
Big time.
Yeah, and of course and by the way, this gives you 91-to-1 crawl ratio in low.
Damn.
So you can really go like half a mile an hour.
Yeah, you just pretty much just let it, you can walk up next to it and just keep walking.
2-inch lift.
Okay, makes sense.
We have a lot of experience with this because our old Gladiator project truck
might have been the best lift I've ever witnessed on a vehicle.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. It just
excellent.
fits right in.
Yeah.
It's really high quality. But this truck is running 37s.
Yeah, just like that orange peel truck. So 37-inch tires. And it looks like you can get some pretty decent articulation, and those fenders look like they're factory, so I don't think they moved them. So that's all good. Is there anything else about this thing? It looks like it has a winch. Looks like unique, not roll bars, but bed bars.
It's got like a sports bar in the back, which
Yeah.
is we haven't really seen them do yet. I mean, in this way.
Yeah, but also it has that roll top.
Yes, and it's interesting, cargo area, and you can see a spare tire is hiding inside of the bed, which is not great because it's taking away some of the cargo area.
You know what? I bet you they couldn't mount it underneath the vehicle.
Because it is a 37. So there you have it. But you still have other cargo solutions and options where you can hang stuff on the rack system.
You know what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of stuff going on. Look at that interior. That's a cool tartan. I like that stuff personally. I like that look. But if you look at the overall design of the vehicle, everything that's on it you can build, which is, I think, their point.
Yeah, and of course the interior is very special because it is a Jeep, Easter Jeep Safari concept.
Yeah.
And it has to be very special.
Yeah, I like that. I like the design. If you don't like plaid, you're not going to like it very much. But otherwise, I think it's pretty cool.
And really quick, before we end, they'll have other vehicles there.
Yes.
So we'll have a chance to see some of them.
Well, let me quickly fill everybody in. So obviously last year, 2020, there was no Easter Jeep Safari, no Jeep event. And they already prepared vehicles for that event. And so a couple of those vehicles will show up, and including the Way Out's big brother.
The Far Out.
The Far Out, baby.
It's a Gladiator, too, but in the overland build of that.
It really is an overland build. Now, if you recall, we do have a video that's out there where Roman and I do a full thing with Mark Allen, one of the head guys at Jeep, when we talk about its older brother. This one has a diesel engine, and there are some other goodies on it. Look at the back of it. That tailgate looks interesting because it's the same type of design as that red one we just talked about. So that might be something they're doing with that black.
And then this guy is going to be there, the Gladiator Top Dog, which kind of has a very utilitarian kind of a flatbed on the back.
I did a story on this on TFLoffroad.com. So this vehicle does have a lot of provisions for people who like to bike. I don't understand you people, but apparently you need like lots of goodies in order to make sure that you can go biking, and it's built for biking and camping Although, honestly, if you owned a company like you were an electrician, that looks like it would work for that as well.
Dude, very usable bed because you can store tools in there, anything you want. So all those Jeeps, I'm very jealous. I'm not going to be there in person, but we'll have more really cool stuff coming.
Yeah, and don't feel bad for Andre. He's got another event to go to, so he'll enjoy that.
All right, so there you have it, guys. So go back to TFL Car, TFL Off-Road, and of course TFLtruck.com because we have all this information there.
That's right, guys. We'll see you next time.